And welcome to this brand new edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, of course, always Kendrick Dix, here to give you the latest news and information on what's going on in wrestling. We're going to talk about the 25th anniversary of Raw. We're going to talk about SmackDown, Impact, and a slew of hot topics. And finally, we're going to talk about predicted outcome for this Sunday's Royal Rumble event. All right, let's get things started with the Raw Ring Report. The Raw Ring Report had the 25th anniversary of Raw, where all the legends and the current superstars came together and celebrate Raw's 25th anniversary. And what a way to kick it off when the current Raw commissioner, Stephanie McMahon, and the SmackDown commissioner, Shane McMahon, who had their own fixtures on Raw throughout the seasons and stuff. So they welcome everyone to the show, and they introduced the chairman, the creator of Monday Night Raw, Mr. McMahon. Mr. McMahon finally said it's nice to smell the roses for his lifetime around. Mr. McMahon was celebrating until that glass music hit, and you know who it was. It was Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold came out, wanted to celebrate Mr. McMahon, and Mr. McMahon trying to make all these excuses, saying that he's a senior citizen now. He doesn't wrestle. He can't handle it because he got a heart condition and stuff like that. And he turned around, looked at Shane, and said, "Shane's in his shape and he's in his prime. Stun Shane." And Stone Cold just did that. Stun Shane. At the end, Mr. McMahon tried to embrace Stone Cold, and everything was all well. But you know Stone Cold don't go fall for that. Stone Cold stuns the chairman, leaving everyone happy. But a lot of people were saying Stone Cold didn't say much. Why? Stone Cold can say what he want to say, but at the end of the day, the satisfaction is him stunning Mr. McMahon to, relive that history again. So you critics, back off a little bit. All right. Up next was an 8-woman tag. Give me a preview of this Sunday's Royal Rumble with Raw's finest women. Asuka, Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Mickie James teamed up against Alicia Fox, Nia Jax, and Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville with Paige at ringside. And unfortunately, Paige will not be in the Royal Rumble match for the women's, but she will be a supporting cast member. But the women's team on the face side won, and Asuka did the unthinkable. She's the heavy favorite. Asuka threw her tag team partners, Bayley, Mickie James, and she thought she's got Sasha Banks. Sasha got through Sasha Banks, so left through right. Sasha is ready, and she is primed for this Sunday's Royal Rumble. And I give you my pick on who I think is going to win this first ever Women's Royal Rumble. Alright, we head over to the Manhattan Center, where you can see the Empire State Building signaling Monday Night Raw red, that it's the 25th anniversary, and this Empire State Building celebrates that. That's what it means, New York. That's the tallest building in New York thus far, and that's a great honor, homage. You never know. But the Undertaker makes a rare appearance and addresses the Manhattan crowd that he has been the cornerstone of the WWE for so long, that he made all this possible for everyone in particular. And a lot of people were saying that it was kind of awkward, odd that Undertaker didn't have his message across, but it's a nostalgia act. It's a nostalgia feeling. It feels special, feel intimate in that arena. People were saying that he should have had it in the Barclays Center. No, he was at the right place at the right time. And he talked about his rivalry with Kane, Stone Cold, and Mankind, which that brought back memories for me. Especially with the Kane and Stone Cold, all those three men, Mankind. Remember, he threw Mankind over the cell. It's unforgettable. Alright, up next was the former general managers gathered and assembled to be recognized by the WWE Universe. And you saw Johnny Ace, John Laurinaitis, People Power, William Regal, who now the current NXT GM, and former general manager Eric Bischoff make a rare appearance. And they brought out Daniel Bryan as a special guest appearance. And The Miz came out there, and The Miz looked at Daniel Bryan up and down and say, look here, look at you now, look at me now. And The Miz just kind of like did his singing pole and just walked on off. That's one thing about Miz. I like about Miz. He's arrogant, he's cocky. He don't care. He's brash, he's young. Hey, that's what it go with. But The Miz wrestled Roman Reigns for the Intercontinental Championship and won the match due to some shenanigans at ringside with his Miztourage. But The Miz was the able one to regain the Intercontinental Championship for the 8th time. Don't comment it. Alright, Miz did it. Miz is the new Intercontinental Champion for the 8th time. I'm like, Miz, yes, you are awesome. I give you that. You're awesome. You're on your way to be creeping up to Chris Jericho's record at a 9th championship reign. If Miz can get to the 9th reign. But it looks like they're trying to evoke some feud with him and Seth Rollins. So look for that down the road. Alright, the APA is, they added again. They playing poker with all the current legends, superstars like MVP, the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos, the New Day, Titus Worldwide, a slew of superstars and legends playing poker, and it was like APA fashion, Hey, Ted DiBiase won the game, and Ted DiBiase always gets what he wants. Always. Alright, Christian hosts the Peep Show with the Raw Tag Team Champions Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins. Christian want to know, is there chemistry between Rollins and Jordan? And Rollins and Jordan try to dismiss those rumors and saying, since they're the champions, they had to have some chemistry. But until the bar comes out and saying that they're not going to have the championships for long. So it's kind of like, at the end, it was like a lack of communication where the bar led to Rollins and Jordan miscommunicating and missed their cues, and could we see the bar become the Raw Tag Team Champions Sunday. We go back to the Manhattan Center, and Bray Wyatt is there to meet Matt Hardy one-on-one. And Bray Wyatt with his ooey creepy nose, and Matt Hardy with his wacky job, his whack nose job. It's just a whack fest. And it turned out Bray Wyatt wins over Matt Hardy. So I don't know. What do y'all guys think? You think Matt Hardy is just was he better in TNA? Or is he was better than WWE with this character? Because I don't think in this character it's getting over, and it's in a worldwide exposure. But in TNA, it was getting more care, but it had worldwide exposure. But TNA just didn't have the money. That's the common denominator. WWE got the money, but don't know how to use it. Where TNA don't have the money and knows how to use it. So it's kind of like a toss-up. So tell me what you think out there. If you have any comments, leave them down on the comment board. Just let us know. Don't be afraid. Just tell it like me, because, hey, here's what it is. Alright. We go back to the Brooklyn Center, and Raw honors the incredible female talent from the past 25 years. I mean, incredible from the Attitude Era to the Entertainment Era, or the Golden Era, we want to call that, or to the New Era. And they had Trish Stratus, they had Tori Wilson, they had the Bella Twins, they had Michelle McCool, who we ain't seen in a long time, Jacqueline, Terry Wonders, Kelly Kelly, and a slew of other more women that was out there. Trish Stratus stands out because she was the face of Raw in the female division. Unmistakably, missing was Lita. Lita wasn't present, so what was going on with that? But hey, it is what it is. Elias speaks to the crowd about WWE, and you know what that means. We want Elias. Elias declared himself into the Royal Rumble match this Sunday, and he sees Jimmy Fallon and started trying to tease Jimmy Fallon until John Cena interrupts and calls him out. And John Cena and Elias had that incredible classic matchup on Christmas Day Raw last year that stole the show. But these two guys' paths will cross again this Sunday at the Royal Rumble. I know they're both in that match, so who knows? And Titus Worldwide beats Rhino and Heath Slater. And then after Slater was caught cheating while playing poker, and they wanted to sell in the ring and stuff like that, and they won. But the Dudley Boys came out there and took Heath Slater to the woodshed and drive him through a table. So Dudley Boys made that little pop for themselves and stuff like that. Next in line is WWE Champion AJ Styles being interviewed by the legendary Mean Gene Okerlund. Mean Gene Okerlund talked to AJ Styles about his upcoming 2-on-1 handicap match this Sunday at the Royal Rumble against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. AJ saying that he's want to hit him fast and hit him hard and keep on going and build that momentum to Royal Rumble and head on to WrestleMania as the WWE Champion. And Gene Okerlund still sharp, so don't get it twisted. He's still sharp. All right, DX meet and greet the crowd in the Manhattan Center. You had Triple H and Shawn Michaels, the Road Dogg Jesse James, Bad Billy Gunn, and X-Pac. You tell X-Pac was a little bit choked up as the crowd was telling him 1, 2, 3, meaning signaling when X-Pac defeated. He brought out to introduce Razor Ramon as a solidarity that you could tell he was holding back. He was choking up, but he kind of felt it. You felt the emotion, and it was a good seeing all of them. It was, like I said, nostalgia. You saw The Undertaker. You saw the legends, the former GM. You saw the former women talent, the women legends. And now DX and everybody else. It was great setting for that two events. Now, the Balor Club came out there and tried to interrupt it. And the Balor Club signaling the hands, say the Wolfpack sign. And Wolfpack Uno. And they was united, DX, the Clique, the Balor Club, all in one. Until the Revival came out there. And the Revival, they won their match against Anderson and Gallows. And they got their match, but they lost. So Anderson and Gallows was kind of like representing that new wave now. And Anderson and Gallows down the road will meet the Revival. Hopefully, will they be in the Royal Rumble match? We had to see. You had to find out this Sunday and stuff. And then after that, Kurt Angle comes out with a slew of legends that you saw on the show. They all surround the ring to engage battle if Braun Strowman, Brock Lesnar, and Kane got out of hand. Three monsters meet this Sunday for the Universal Championship. And Brock Lesnar unleashed. He went after Braun and Kane, sending a message and stuff until Braun got back up and picked up the champion and slammed him through the announce table, leaving the immediate impact that Braun wants to be the Universal Champion. And Braun has that chance this time, but at the same time with Brock Lesnar under triple threat rules does not have to be pinned to lose his title. So we'll get to that later on the predict the outcome later on the show. But that ends the Raw Ring Report with the 25th anniversary of Raw. Let's move over to the SmackDown Ring Report. Where the SmackDown Ring Report, AJ Styles engaged some words with his opponents this Sunday at Royal Rumble, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, saying he can beat them both. He wants a one-on-one. And so, that's what Shane McMahon does. Shane McMahon makes the match having one-on-one matches against the champion. So that's later on that night. Chad Gable defeats, I think either Jimmy or Jay. I don't know. I think it was Jimmy. Defeats Jimmy Uso, getting him momentum to his championship match with his tag team partner Shelton Benjamin at the Royal Rumble for the SmackDown tag titles. We'll talk about it later on the Raw Ring Report. On the not Raw Ring Report, but the Predict the Outcome. Why is that Raw Ring Report? I love Raw Ring Report. You should love it. Love SmackDown Report too, and Predict the Outcome. Naomi beats Liv Morgan, meaning, this give her momentum. And at the end, Becky Lynch tries to do a cheap shot and tries to throw Naomi out, signaling that she can toss out the Royal Rumble. So it's going to be very interesting this Sunday to see. Randy Orton interrupts Shinsuke Nakamura's and Baron Corbin's match after Nakamura was getting ready to do the Kasasha. Out of nowhere, Randy Orton hits the RKO and declare his dominance that he wants to be a 3-time Royal Rumble winner. He won it last year and he wants to win again this year. A huge 6-man tag team match as Bobby Roode, the new United States champion in the New Day, takes on Jinder Mahal, Rusev, and English. And Roode and company wins their match. Very interesting note that with Bobby Roode, all these 6 men, will they be in the Royal Rumble? It's a possibility. It's a possibility. Possibility. And at the end, WWE Champion AJ Styles went against Kevin Owens and won, and did it so quickly in a quick fashion. He used that calf crusher, that calf move, and made the champion Kevin Owens tap out. To Sami Zayn had to come in and fight. Sami Zayn and AJ Styles put on a decent match, but Sami Zayn was the one to win after AJ was caught being distracted by Kevin Owens and wanted to do some more damage on Kevin Owens' leg. That AJ is trying to be that more serious, aggressive world champion. So, with AJ's emotions get the best of him this Sunday, if he can't keep his head straight against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, we'll find out this Sunday at Royal Rumble. Alright, that ends the SmackDown Ring Report. We did those 2 ring reports, but at the end, we're going to Predict the Outcome later on in the show. But after this, we're going to talk about the Impact Ring Report and Hot Topics. Stay tuned. You do not want to go nowhere. This is the Pro Wrestling Show. Welcome.
Cue tracks.
Back to the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host as always, Kendrick Dix here. Let's get to the Impact Ring Report. On Impact Wrestling this week, they presented their theme, Genesis. Now, Genesis was an old pay-per-view, and then it just went down there to a special for Impact Wrestling. But on the Genesis show, now Matt Sydal wants to be Grand Champion, but EC3 claims a bit different. EC3 claims Matt Sydal isn't in his league, but Matt Sydal won the grand title. He's been attempting to be the grand champion over numerous occasions, even the triple threat match with Falaba, and that didn't work out in his favor. But Matt Sydal wanted this stipulation that if he doesn't win it, he don't want to go for no more. But he don't want no judges, no rules or nothing. He just want EC3 one-on-one, and that's what he got. And for his return, he won the match and is the new grand champion. Lashley settles his rivalry with Moose after the 2 with the American Top Team, but Moose was the one to be victorious over Lashley, but Dan Lambert seemed livid that Lashley lost, and Lambert just went off on Lashley until Lashley snapped and had enough and just pulled Dan Lambert off of him. And Lashley speared Dan, what's his name? KM. Lashley speared that Kobe Covington dude, and Lashley speared Dan Lambert through the table. And so Dan Lambert now and Lashley are broke apart. Man, You know, they let you know factions don't last that long when you get with a person and, you know, egos gets the best of them. Alright, then we take you to a match pro wrestling Noah where Andrew Everett met Ishimori for the X Division Championship, and Ishimori won, and that was it. It was solid, it was good, but it was short and sweet. But I think that's what they kind of do now. Like, you know, we don't have enough tape matches, so let's go over across and see, can we use some of your tapes to add on to our show. Real Todger TNA. Real Todger. But Laura Van Ness defended her knockouts title against challenger Allie. And Laura Van Ness retains her title against Allie. After all attempts that Allie wants to be knockouts champion. So we don't know if Allie may get a shot or not. Who knows? Man. Alright, the main event was a 6 sides of steel match for the World Championship, where Eli Drake defended his title against Johnny Impact and Alberto El Patron. Them two has been a thorn on the side of each other and a thorn on the champion Eli Drake. Eli Drake won convincingly after we thought Johnny Impact was going to leave the cage, but Eli left the cage at the same time simultaneously, and Eli had his foot down the rope first, thus meaning that Eli retains his gold. Now, we don't know what's the card hold for next week, because a lot of rumors going around that Austin Aries may return sooner than you think. So check out next week and see if that dream becomes reality with Aries and stuff. So, hey, that ends the Impact Ring report for this week. Let's move over to Hot Topics. Alright, on Hot Topics this week, man, we got a slew of Hot Topics. Now, I know you heard about Enzo Amore accused of rape. Enzo, with this lady, sent this lengthy Twitter message posting that what Enzo did to her last November. And now, WWE has taken swift action and suspended his show over the matter and has fired Enzo through this process. Enzo Amore no longer works for WWE, but Enzo was the Cruiserweight champion, and thus the title was vacated. And so now Enzo just back being Enzo. But the thing is with Enzo, is he, I think, was it too soon, too fast for him, because he was living all this extravagant lifestyle and it just didn't work out in his favor. So I'm thinking that, like, he was given too much too quick. And look at what happened now. He's lost everything. He lost his job. He lost being the champion. It's just, Enzo, it's going to be a rough day for you. But speaking of the championship, the Cruiserweight Championship will be vacated until the new GM return. New GM for 205 Live is announced for next week. And many people are speculating, I'm speculating this fact, that Rockstar Spud, who has recently signed with WWE, is in the running to be the new 205 GM. And I think Rockstar Spud will be the new 205 GM. Mark my word. Mark my word. Mark my word. WWE announces this week that next year's Royal Rumble will emanate in Phoenix, Arizona. Yes, Phoenix, Arizona will host the Royal Rumble in the Phoenix Stadium Chase Field, which is amazing. How, like, last year's event was in this Alamo Dome, and this year's in the Philadelphia Center, and next year's in the Chase Field Stadium. It does get bigger. WWE is expanding and thinking outside the box, and kudos to WWE for doing that for the Royal Rumble weekend with NXT and SmackDown, Raw, and the Royal Rumble. So look out for Phoenix. Good. I know y'all happy. But speaking of big news, two big news that, speaking of the Royal Rumble, Stephanie McMahon has announced on Twitter that she will be serving as guest commentator for the Women's Royal Rumble match. This is huge. This is huge. Stephanie McMahon joining the commentary team for the Women's Royal Rumble. I'm assuming it's going to be her, Michael Cole, and Corey Graves. So this is big news. Stephanie announced the female Royal Rumble, and now she's going to be a part of it, but on the commentary team. Nice move, WWE. Nice move. Nice class act move. Speaking of class act moves, Mr. McMahon announced that he is resurrecting the XFL League in 2020. 2020. Yeah, 2020. And Mr. McMahon saying he's open to ideas and wants football reimagined. So Mr. McMahon is going to take a step back and let the new executives of the XFL take step in. So this is a good look. They haven't announced no teams yet. Many of them folks are notable here in Birmingham with the Birmingham Thunderbolts of the original XFL. Would they make a resurgence back? We don't know. Mr. McMahon saying they're going to do some deep field research study to see this and see how this is going to progress. And good luck for the XFL, and let's see if they can do it the second time around greater than it was before. All right, that ends hot topics. When we return, we'll have predict the outcome for the WWE Royal Rumble. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, Kendrick Dix, here again. Thanks for joining me here. It's this supersized edition of Pro Wrestling Show. We got through the ring reports, hot topics, and now predict the outcome. Our special look for this weekend's WWE Royal Rumble, which will be in Philadelphia on the WWE Network exclusively. 4 championship matches, 2 Royal Rumble matches. It doesn't get any bigger than this. Let's start with the WWE Championship match where AJ Styles defend against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in a 1-on-2 handicap match. Now the odds are not in AJ's favor, but do AJ have a chance to gain redemption, or can he keep his head in the game and retain his championship, or will his loss be his biggest downfall? We'll find out. I'm thinking AJ Styles will win and overcome these odds. So AJ will win over Owens and Zayn because he damaged Owens and Zayn took advantage and Zayn got the pinfall twice. So AJ will recap his championship and recap against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Alright. The tag team championships from SmackDown, 2 out of 3 falls match. The Usos defending against Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable. Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable have been on a roll. The Usos have been kind of like a little bit down a little bit, but I think the Usos will win this match because the Usos, love competition. They seem to be. For the Raw Tag Team Championships, Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins defend against The Bar. Now, you saw that lack of miscommunication between Rollins and Jordan. If you're going to apply this Sunday at Royal Rumble, I think so. And I think The Bar will recapture the Tag Team Championship for the third time. So, watch out for that. Watch out for that. The Universal Championship match. Brock Lesnar defends against Braun Strowman, Kane, in a triple threat match. Brock Lesnar does not have to be pinned to lose his championship. Now, my opinion is Brock Lesnar will win this match, but I think Kane will take the pinfall. So, I don't know what they're going to do. I think Brock's going to do something just damaging the Braun at Royal Rumble. That's why those ones are in that match. The upcoming match I'm going to talk about. The Royal Rumble match. 30 men. Everybody's in this match, but one opportunity to go to WrestleMania and headline and meet the champion of their brand. And I believe the Royal Rumble winner will be Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura will win the Royal Rumble match and meet AJ Styles at WrestleMania New Orleans and recreate that magic they had at Wrestle Kingdom again, but this time in a bigger worldwide scale at WrestleMania. I believe it. And finally, the female women's Royal Rumble match. It's going to be historic. A lot of people were saying Ronda Rousey was going to be involved in this match. Ronda quickly shoot them off saying, no, I'm not going to be involved. But the only obviously favorite is either it's going to be Nia Jax or Asuka. But my money's on Asuka to win because Asuka wants to stay undefeated. And Asuka will do so just so they're at Royal Rumble. So Nakamura and Asuka will win their respective Royal Rumbles and head on to WrestleMania to meet the champion. So I firmly believe it. Alright, you tell us what you think. Who you believe. Leave comments below and tell us who you think is going to win the Royal Rumble for their respective brands. For the men's one and the female one. Who's going to win their undercard matches. You let us know. Well, that does it for this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm Kendrick Dix saying so long, and we'll see you next week.